database filtering options. You're also going to find improved rendering controls from the Volume Render module, additional segmentation tools and options in Volume Edit, and then the ability to do a fully signed registration in the 3D voxel registration module. There are over 50 new features and enhancements in Analyze 11.0 though, so I encourage you to go to our website for that full list. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into our demonstration of some of these new features and enhancements. So I'll begin with the DICOM tool. Within the DICOM tool, I mentioned earlier that you do have some new options for anonymization. Previously, you were only able to anonymize patient information. In Analyze 11.0, though, you'll now find that you can also anonymize study and series information. So I right-click on the dataset here and choose Anonymize Patient. You can see that I also get these study panes as well as series, so you can edit all of that information as well. Further, you can add additional DICOM tags, so if there are fields not listed here that you want to anonymize, you can add those DICOM tags and anonymize those. So for instance, if you wanted to remove the study date, you would just add the DICOM field for study date, and then that could be changed. Very useful if you're doing blinded studies and need to remove this information. Another new option in the DICOM tool is the ability to filter which datasets are displayed in this window based on their date of import. So I don't know if you're like me, but oftentimes I get a large number of datasets in my database, and I import a new one and I can't figure out where it's located. So one way you can address that is if you right-click and choose Configure Search. This Configure Search window now has this date of import option. If you click in the field, this calendar will pop up, and you can choose to filter just files that were imported on a specific day, or you can also choose anything that was imported before a specific date, after, or between dates. I'm just going to choose to look at datasets that were imported today. So I choose April 19th, click OK, and then choose Search. And then you can see all of those two datasets that I imported today. To get back to the regular view, you just hit Clear, and we can see everything once again. So an additional feature that's been added to the DICOM tool that may not be immediately apparent is the maintenance of spatial location information for slices. So I exit the DICOM tool and I go into my workspace here, and I look at the header information for a DICOM dataset that I've imported. You'll see that now it's going to track the spatial location of each slice in the entire series. And where this would be useful is if you output the same dataset out of Analyze in DICOM format, you're going to see improved compatibility with other softwares. So I'm going to go ahead now and move into the Volume Render module and show you some of the new features that have been added there. So I'll go ahead and open Volume Render. I'm just going to open my preview window quickly so you can see as I make changes. So the first thing you'll notice in the Analyze 11.0 Volume Render is the render type window. The render type window now gives you immediate access to the other major rendering options underneath the Generate menu, as well as the render type specific options. So these type specific options are the options that are specific to this render type selected over here. So you see if you click the threshold button here, for instance, the threshold window will pop right up. We're going to just threshold down with the skin. And hit render. Another new option that you'll find in Analyze 11.0 is that you can actually rotate directly from the preview window. So you can see I can just drag and drop here and move my rendering around quickly. You can still, of course, get quick access to the original rotation window though, directly from the render type window. So I hit rotation, and I can reset back to my original view. Volume Render is also going to include some new options for creating visually enhanced renderings. And this is going to be with the volume compositing render type. So we can get a good idea of what these enhanced renderings are going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and load a tissue map. So you can see now we have our volume compositing type-specific tissue map option here. So just click that. And I'm going to load a tissue map that I created earlier. And hit render. And the first way in which you can create these visually enhanced renderings is with the background color. So I'm going to click the background option here. I'm going to change our background color to white. So you can see with the white background, my other tissue, my tissue map, which was a tissue related to the skin, actually shows up quite nicely. And in Analyze 11.0, the reason it looks so nice is because the background color is actually composited directly into the rendering. The next option that you have for creating visually enhanced renderings is going to be called super sampling. With super sampling, what happens is a ray is passed through every pixel in your rendering. And this creates basically a high resolution or high definition rendering. This is going to take a little bit longer to render, so I'm going to just close out my preview window before I activate this. And to get access to super sampling, you first need to turn on interpolated rays. And right now, we have to use kind of a tricky quick key to activate this. In the final version of Analyze 11.0 that we released on May 31st, this will be easier to access now. So I'm going to press Control-Alt-Shift-S. And now you can see I do have this super sample checkbox. So I check super sample. And you can see I can choose to oversample by 2, 3, or 4 ways. And I'm going to choose 2 and hit render. And you can see now we do have this really nice high-resolution rendering. And this can, of course, always be saved out by going to File, Save Rendering. That's all I'm going to demonstrate in Volume Render today. We do have some additional new features here, so I would encourage you to take a look at that detailed new features and enhancements document on the website. Next, I'm going to show you the new image prepare module. This is available underneath the process menu. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to correct corrupt regions or corrupt slices within a data set. So within this data set, we have a few corrupt slices. Just move to those quickly. So you can see here, we have a break there. So if I wanted to correct this, I would need to specify which slices are bad. So I can actually go and just type that in here. And we have the option to correct these slices just using adjacent slices, or we can try to correct just a sub-region of the slice. And to do that, we select this bad region checkbox, and we can now set a sub-region around the corrupt area. And what will happen is this sub-region is going to be corrected based on the correction method selected down here. We can either choose to copy from the closest grid size, or we can interpolate between the first grid slices. So what that will do is it will interpolate using the information from the slices on either side of these bad slices. With the bad region, the corrected boxes will be blended out into the surrounding data within this blend border. So I'll go ahead and just choose to repair slices now and change a copy. You can already see the corrected preview here, so you can see the dramatic difference. So it's kind of a basic module, but it can be very powerful and very useful. So I'll go ahead and exit that. You can see my corrected data set now here in the workspace. Next, I'm going to move into the volume edit module. For those of you who are not aware, volume edit is a new module that was added in Analyze 10.0, and it's continuing to evolve. We're really finding a lot of great new uses for it. It can really streamline your segmentation tasks. And Analyze 11.0 just continues on that evolution. We've added some really useful new features here. The first of which is going to be underneath this edge strength tab. So if you check Use Edge Strength, it's going to calculate the edges there. And in Analyze 10.0, the way that you viewed edges was just by pressing down this edge strength threshold button. What you would do is you get a binary display here. You can already see immediately that we have those red outlines now in place of the binary image. And then we can also check this Show Edges option, and this will actually show you the edges continually. And this becomes useful because you can now actually move through your slices and review the edges and make sure that you have your settings set appropriately. So once you've selected your edge threshold, you just uncheck Show Edges, and you can move on into your Walls tab. You can actually load into your next new feature. So I'll check to define walls for when it's semi-automated operations. And the new feature here is going to be a spline wall type. So if I choose Draw Wall, and I'm actually going to go ahead and define a wall between the left ventricle and the left atrium. I'll move through my slices here. And if I choose the spline option, what I can do is I can just draw in my spline. I just click to set the spline control points. And once you double click, you can actually go back and you can move those spline points. If you click on them with your middle mouse button, you can drag and drop those. And once you're satisfied with your spline, you just click Apply, and it's now been set as a wall. Now, another capability that you have with walls, which is actually available in Analyze 10.0, but a lot of people don't know about it, so I just want to go ahead and demonstrate it today. And what happens is if you define a wall on another slice in the same orientation, it'll actually interpolate between the wall and the first slice and the second slice. So I'm going to define a second spline here. And I forgot to mention earlier, we do also have this Smart Edge option for the spline. And the Smart Edge will do kind of like an edge detection, so it can again further. And you can see now, if I move back to my slices, you can see this is actually interpolating between that first wall I set and the second one. Now that I have my walls defined, I'll go ahead and move into my semi-automatic tab. We don't really have any